first. I need to go this song.
Thank you. All right. We are live. This is the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast. We're about 30 minutes late from getting started, but like I said, we're in time, on time, at all times. We're here today with our special guest, Miss Dabriah Brown. Her third time on the show, so she's truly what we call a friend of the show. Yes, she's a third. You know, we did 2 segments on the relationship, and then this is your third trip. So like I said, truly a friend of the show. Today's topic is, again, something along those same nature about relationships. I don't know if you had a chance to do your research. You people that keep up with social media know who Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels is controversial, to say the least, about some of the things that he's been saying about women and their expectations. And a lot of it seems to be directed toward the older generations and their dating expectations and things what they think they should have or not have. And we wanted to touch on that today. But as always, we are broadcasting live from a little rowboat to China. I'm sorry, that's not true either. But like I say, this is our job here. We try to educate, entertain, and inform. And so with that being said, I got to ask my brother from another mother, Mr. Reggie Rutledge. Reggie, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. Brother Sam, how are you this morning?
I am perfect this morning.
This
afternoon. Try to get my co-host and our guest to behave themselves. Inside jokes, and the audience want to know what y'all laughing about. But anyway, that is what this subject is about. And if you join us in the live chat, please understand this is another chance for you to win my friend's book, Mr. Bernard Sims, The Southern Awakening, A Black Man's Guide to Liberating the Rural South, which is a very good book, very good read. And he's going to, we'll be giving away a couple of more autographed copies of that book today. We're going to announce the winners from our last contest from our podcast. We had 3. So hang on with technical difficulties. Just a little bit, but we'll be okay. That's one of the things about going live. You can't unsee, you can't undo it, but we good. Yes, but we are live. Who we got in the chat already?
David Powell.
David Powell. What's going on, Dave? And
David Wade.
Who?
Brenda Harris.
Brenda Harris. How? Brenda, good to see you guys. Stay connected with a chance to win this book if you haven't already purchased it. But even if you have purchased it, there's a chance to win and give it to somebody. Like I said, it's a great read. Shout out to Bernard and the work that he's doing. So, Reggie, Kevin Samuels. What do you think about Kevin Samuels and his views on women of an older age? When I say older, I want to say, because his target audience seems to be from 35 and up, and some of the things that they brought to the table. And some people say it's borderline on abuse with the way he talked to them. And I guess that's a matter of perspective. But Reggie, what do you think about Kevin Samuels and his stance on women and their expectations in the dating world today? Since you are out there on the front line, as you like to say.
Well, Sam, here's the situation. He's not being abusive. He's just speaking the truth. And sometimes we just don't want to hear the truth. That ends up being our problem.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, when we were children and we wanted something and we couldn't get it, we said, you're mean, you're this, you're that. So when he speaks,
So you're saying, what you're saying is when you don't get the reaction that you wanted, you classify it as mean.
Right, because if you're being realistic with me, sometimes I have a problem with that. The truth can sometimes hurt.
Well, again, I always like to say already, the truth is not personal.
Right.
So if it hurt, that means personally something going on with you. It's not about the truth. The truth didn't hurt you. What you're going on personally is what hurt you. And I agree with that. But one of the things I have, and I can't really say an issue with it because I don't know the man personally, but he always seems to talk about his catchphrases, high value men. And Dabriah, what do you consider a high value man?
I don't necessarily like that term because it almost feels like you're placing people in position to be better than somebody. You know what I mean? It just, there's a stigma of arrogance in that to me. Now, I do believe that we could be operating as our highest self, so we're in, you know, I guess maybe a high value position in our lives, but everybody has the potential to be a high value person. Like, so what's the opposite of a high value person? Somebody's not valuable? Like, everybody's valuable.
Well, for me, I think that's where the misinformation, miscommunication comes. But what do you consider value? Because what he, and again, I could be wrong. I'm just speculating on what, from what I gather, from what I look when I look at his videos. What I see is he called a high value man is a man that makes 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
But how does that make him high value? Because now you're saying he's high value because he makes some money. Because I know a lot of people make $200,000 and ain't got zero morals.
That's exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, they make $200,000 and think
I
they can
have
talk to
known
people.
some people who have dated some high value people, but it was some stuff that came along with that, like you getting dragged across the floor at night. You got to deal with him cheating. You have to deal with being talked to any kind of way. You have to deal with, outside children. You have to deal with being treated like a child in your own home. Like, it's just, high value should be about a lot more than just what you make financially.
Well, see, and I guess I'm cut from a different cloth because I don't think value has anything to do with price.
Exactly.
But in his regard, what he says is because some of these women say that, but again, it's not just him. Some of the women that are on the channel, they got said, well, they're placing their value on, for lack of a better term, what's below their waist. Mm-hmm. I got good piano playing skills. Is that I think is what we like. I got good piano playing skills, so I'm worth. So he should. So I'm worth it. So I'm worth it. Whatever. I'm worth a man that makes. And I shouldn't have to work. He should put me up in a house of luxury. I should, be because I got these great piano playing skills.
I feel
you see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of.
This is just subjective, like, because it depends on who you're dealing with. Like, Reggie might feel like high value is piano playing skills. You might feel like high value is, can I talk to you about my day when I come home? It's too, I just feel like it's too much area, too big of an area for interpretation to say somebody's high value or somebody's not, because how many women do you know, like I said, that are with quote unquote high value men, but they live like hell behind their door, and then you got a woman that's with a man, he might drive the trash truck, but after working all those long hours, even going to the second job, he comes home, he's rubbing her feet, he's making time with the kids, he's still helping out around the house, and he's still generally a good man. So what's high value? He may not have the paycheck, but he's got the family dynamic and being the man that is making sure that his family's emotional and physical needs are met. That's their dynamic. It works for them. So for her, that's high value. They're happy in their home. But will the woman with a high value man, will she say he's a high value man if he punching her in the head, if he treating her like a child, if he's saying, you shut up and you don't speak in front of my business partners, you just show up to this gal and look pretty and you don't say nothing because, your opinion don't matter. These are important people in this room. Like, is she saying that he's high value too, or is it just the man?
So
and Kevin saying that he's high value.
So the question that I'm asking, so is it about perception or reality?
I can't based on Mr. Sanders, I don't know. I guess in his own little world, in the world of the people who agree with him, I guess his high value, I guess.
Here's the thing, and I want some people out there in the chat to come in on this. There was an episode, and by the way, he has this disclaimer said that anybody uses any of his content, he's gonna sue or whatever. I think we have to worry about that with our just 120 subscribers. But anyway, this is just references to what he said. No, we don't have permission to talk about this, but this is relevant. It's our views, so I think we're good on that regard. But just had to throw that disclaimer out there. He had a lady on there, and she, of course, she thought that she was one of these people that I think I deserve a high value man because of what I bring to the table. His question to her was, "Ma'am, what did you bring to the table?" And of course, the most valuable thing she had was her piano playing skills. And she had 4 kids. So what he told her was, he asked her physicality. That's another thing we're going to jump into it too. He said, ma'am, how much do you weigh? And she said, I weigh 250 pounds. And he said, how tall are you? She says, I'm 5'6", 5'6" and a half, almost 5. She said, I'm just going to say 5'7". And he said, and this is where I kind of get off, where I get off with him, because he says, no man wants a woman that's bigger than he is. And she says, but this is her words, not mine. She said, I'm juicy. I'm thick. And he said, black women made that turn up so they could allow them to be lazy and stop working out because they let themselves go. He said, do you realize that you're bigger than Emmitt Smith, the football player?
And you see, that's what it is for me, the insult to people.
Yeah.
Because for every Kevin Samuels, there's a man.
Hey, Vivian, how you doing?
My personal experience saying, don't you lose not 1 pound, because that's what I want. I have had somebody tell me, because I'm on a weight loss journey, you lose too much, I'm not going to be attracted. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing it. You don't do it for me, but people like what they like. That's what I was saying earlier about it being just too much room for interpretation based on who it is. Because you might not like that, but somebody absolutely loves that. So who are you to say that she's not high value because she's overweight or because she has 4 kids? I mean, I have a relative, she had several children by, 2 different fathers, I think. Yeah. But somebody came in and married her, and he treats those kids like they're his.
Well, that was my point, because he was like, it's a doomsday. Carlita, what's the comment? Can you read the comment that Carlita said? She said,
depends on the person. People value different things.
This is true, Scooter. That's real true. And that's what I was saying.
Oh, Scooter.
It's a Scooter. The real is a Scooter. You're absolutely right in that. My thing is this, though, when he said that about the woman's height and weight, and again, I don't think he speaks for all men, because he certainly doesn't speak for me. Me, myself, I've always been attracted to, you had to be at least a size 14 and up for me to even think about being considered. But in my younger days, if you had to be at least a size 14 and up before I would even consider.
Does Kevin even like women?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that up for debate?
He got an exceptional looking
another
partner.
issue for me, though, is also how I heard him talk about. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't say that, like I told you earlier when we were talking, nobody's right 100% of the time. And nobody's wrong 100% of the time. Yeah. Well, they could be, but, but nobody's right 100% of the time.
Well, wrong is a matter of opinion. That's all
right. But, so I don't just completely disagree with everything, because I've seen him go in on a man calling in talking about he was high value and like, no, you're not. You need to get together. Yeah. But with Kevin talking about his background of being raised by his mom and his aunt and his grandma and his dad not being present, I would think that he would have a little more empathy for certain situations when women call in. Not to say that we have pity parties for people, but everybody's life is different. People carry struggles differently. You have the single women, the single parent who go out there and they go get degrees, they level up, they do good at their jobs, they get high positions, or they run their own business. Then you get the ones that struggle a little bit harder. Maybe they got some postpartum from the babies, or maybe they just don't handle the stress of life well. Like, it's just so many different factors play into each individual's everyday life. You generalize too much for my liking, is I guess what I'm saying with him. You can't just say, well, that just means you're this. Like, sometimes, like Reggie said, sometimes the truth hurts some people, but I just think, as with everything, it's always a case-by-case basis. Why is this person the way they are? Has life circumstances put them that way? Is it somebody that's trying and they just keep getting met with resistance, but they still fighting? Is it somebody who's giving up? Is it somebody who doesn't try at all? Like, it's too many factors to just lump everybody in one category and say, because you're a single mama and you fat and you got all these snotty-nosed children and you don't make no money. I mean, that's the way when he started talking like that, that's how I'm picturing him talking to people.
Well,
you being rude. You know? Like, you can't just say that because you don't know what the situation is. What if the lady's husband died and left her with these kids? Every single parent not out here being loose. You know, what circumstances caused her to be in the single parent position? Did the man make some irresponsible choices and go to jail and leave her to raise a family alone? Like, it's just too many factors.
Well, in defense of him, he's kind of gotten away from your dress size, how tall are you, how much you weigh. Unless they ask, he normally won't do that anymore in defense of the man. However, again, a lot of that doesn't matter. A lot of that is for the show. A lot of that is for the views.
Yeah.
And everybody likes what they like. Size, race. Some people like foreign women. Some people like larger women, dark women. I don't want a man with a mustache. I like a man with a beard. I've had a woman say, I like a man who's been to jail. You haven't been to jail. No.
What?
You don't have.
I can see why, but I've never heard a woman say that.
I gotta stop right there.
I can't date
why
unless
would
he
you
got
want
2 or 3
somebody that's been to
felonies.
jail?
Again, I am out here on the front line.
Yes, you are.
I have met women who have said, you are too nice of a guy. I thought I could deal with you, but I kind of like, well, I do like men who are in and out of jail. My first husband was in and out of jail.
Is it because she don't want to give too much to a relationship? She gets some kind of freedom in it? Like,
No, because what she ends up doing is moving them in. Because when they get out of prison, they don't have anything.
Well, see, maybe that's her own personal complex. She need to feel like a savior, or she need to
Well,
feel
that's
like
what I'm saying. And she would say,
control over
right.
somebody.
And the guy I'm engaged to now was a friend of my husband, and he was his cellmate. But that's how they did.
What are these people you met?
They are everywhere. It's not
Dating
even,
the dating app.
not even on the dating app. They're everywhere.
Dating apps right here. This right here.
Dating app.
What?
Listen to me. Dating app. Walmart. Kroger. I'm here.
Hold up. This particular person that is now with the husband's cellmate, former cellmate.
Right.
Where did you meet this person on?
Now that's not met on dating app.
See, that's why.
But you got to remember one thing too. They're on all the dating apps.
Which is why I stay away from the dating apps.
Well, those same women are on all of the dating apps.
And those same men are too.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's all. But that's where we are.
Y'all use dating apps? Chime in. Let us know.
Who's on your chat? What do they say?
Hey Juan. He said next man's trash can be someone's treasure. Real talk.
Thank you, Juan.
And
Appreciate that, Juan. Appreciate that,
nobody
Juan.
else has said anything. But hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey,
Marcy. Hey, Sheila.
So one is he said, listen, if you want to be in on the contest, you have to comment. What do we have from who is this? Derek Wood, Dr. D. What's up, Doc? Get in on this. But okay, here's what Kevin said. Here's what Kevin Samuels really gets on to women about what he calls delusional, because there was this woman, and I'm glad I didn't know her name, so I can't believe you said it. I don't know her personally, but anyway, this is what she said. She said she is now divorced, 10 years divorced. She has 2 kids, 2 boys. One's 14, one's 18. They say she wants to date a man, but she doesn't want a man that wants kids. She's 42, by the way. She's 42. She doesn't want a man that wants kids because she can't have kids anymore. Wait a minute. Let me paint the picture. And she told him that she thinks she deserves a high value man because of her moral character, and so of course Kevin.
What is her definition of high value though?
Again, she's going by her definition. What she calls a high value man, a man that should be, be able to provide and do whatever she needs to do, and it shouldn't be contingent on how much she helps him at this point because of what she brings to the table. She was saying that she wants to date him. She said, but they're not going to have sex until after the wedding night. And so Kevin Samuels asked her, he said, so you've been divorced for 10 years? She said, yeah. He said, so when was your last relationship? She said, well, I just got out of one about 6 years ago. He said, how long did that last? She said it lasted almost 3 years. He says, were you and him sleeping together? She says, yes. He says, so what you're telling me is that the next man that you date, you want him to come in, be a stepfather to your kids, pay all the bills, and provide everything that you need for a comfortable life. because you can do what? And he said, you don't, and he's real crass with some of the stuff that he said. He said, you don't pull 2 whole human beings out of that. 16, 18 years old. And he said, and you're telling me that you're going to tell this man he got to wait? He said, I want to ask you, what high value man do you know that's going to go for that program?
There's somebody that'll wait.
There's somebody that will go with that program.
Somebody.
And I don't have a problem. See, I don't have a problem with people doing, lying, being sneaky, playing a game, and her asking for that. I don't have a problem with that.
I think, but the possibility of that happening is what? I think that's what his angle was.
What he's telling her,
It's a high probability, though.
it's a low probability.
That's what I think that was his point.
Right. And it might be somebody listening to him say, that's who I want. I don't want children. I could deal with that.
But the
They're
deeper
almost out
issue
the house.
is the celibacy. A lot of people will look, like you hear that joke often. Oh, you wait till you have 80 kids, about 50 people, and then choose to be celibate. However, people are celibate for different reasons because their spirituality attached to you giving your body to somebody. You have to find out a person's reasons for being celibate, or maybe I don't want to get too attached to somebody. I want to get to know them before I give it up, because maybe previously I was giving it up and finding myself in situations, but I was too quick to let somebody in.
And that's okay. Keep it.
Carlita said you are one to talk, Reggie.
Exactly.
What I'm saying, if you don't want to do it, keep it. It's okay.
What you mean? Wait a minute. Clarify what you say when you say keep it.
What I'm saying, if you want to be celibate, that's fine.
Just do it without you.
I won't be there. I'm good with that. I'm good. I mean, that's not a problem.
But okay,
I don't have a problem with what anybody wants to do.
I get that. But the celibate issue for me,
okay,
it's like getting back to what Dabriah said. Some women are attached to their spirituality.
I know men that are celibate.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you're looking at one that's been that way for about 4 years now. But anyway, what I'm saying is, and it is attached to a spirituality in a way.
I love it. I stay spiritual, brother.
What I'm saying is because. To each his own. I get that, but what I'm saying is, when some women attach it to the spiritual part because they know that not being celibate, you're not going to heaven that way. And that is because they say that's what.
When I say spiritual, I'm not necessarily mean religious, because people do have religious factors. That's
what I'm saying. Religious.
I'm saying spiritual as far as I need to get my mind right. And I don't want to contaminate myself with somebody else's energy right now because I'm trying to figure me out.
Do you really believe that if you sleep with a person, you sleep with everybody that person done slept with?
Yes, to an extent. But even if you're not sleeping with everybody you slept with, now biologically, yes, because if somebody down the line gave them STD, you're going to get the same STD. So technically,
hey, Michelle, come in. Get in on this.
I mean, at very minimum, you are mixing yourself with that person's energy. Have you ever slept with somebody and all of a sudden you find yourself liking things that they like that you didn't like before?
I have not. I'm sorry. I'm with you. I don't agree with much, Brett, but I am with you. I have not ever slept with somebody that started wanting something that somebody that they didn't want.
But some of us are more spiritually sensitive than others too. But I know men who are celibate as well. But everybody has their own reasons for being celibate or not. So again, you can't just generalize and be like, oh, you done gave it up to everybody and now you want to be celibate. Who don't want that? You can't do that because you don't know somebody's reasons for that. Maybe somebody suffered some sexual abuse and they're trying to purge that, or they're triggered by.
Tell me all that up front. Tell me all that up front.
Did you say tell me all that up front?
You didn't talk about your sexual abuse when you had Papa Do's eating $100 crab legs. I will get the $100 crab legs, but I had some sexual abuse. You didn't talk about it then. You didn't talk about it any other time. Now when I want to do something, now it's a problem. You did not speak on that issue when you wanted what you wanted. And I got a good story when you're ready about spirituality.
Terry Ann says, we both need to practice celibacy. I've done it man's way and it didn't turn out right. My desire is to do it God's way. See, everybody has their own
I'm with it. I
reasons
am with
why
it.
they're celibate.
I got a good story.
What's her name?
Terry Ann.
Terry Ann, she's in the running for the free book giveaway too. How you spell Terry Ann? Just regular old Terry Ann?
Terry with the Y-N.
How did she get in the running? I'm just asking. Because she said she's
he
supposed
like
to do
what
it
she said.
Okay.
It's his giveaway. He can make
Can
it
I
cool.
get someone to call in that said, I'm good, I need some? Can I put you in for the book too?
Get somebody to call and say, Reggie, we ain't gotta wait, and then he can put them on the
And then
book.
we're going to get you a book too. I'll buy a book. I'll buy another book to
I
get you a book.
don't disagree with your point of view. If that's what works for
No,
you,
read that out so the other
She said thank you.
She welcome.
I got a story.
Let's have it. Give it to us. Give it to us.
This is one of my frontline stories.
Okay.
What a young woman had developed a good relationship.
Don't call her name, right?
I'm not going to call her name. No. Like you said, they didn't give me permission, so I don't call her name. With a young lady.
They got a spine.
Yeah, pretty good relationship. Pretty deep relationship.
Yeah, pretty good.
We're at church.
Yeah.
She said, oh man, you know the scripture, you singing the song, you praying with everybody. I said, yeah, right. So the young lady says to me after church, we're in the parking lot.
Parking lot of the church.
Parking lot of the church. I'm conflicted now. We're not engaged. We're not married. We're in a serious relationship. And we're having relations. Right.
Fornicating.
We're having, and she says, but I'm so glad you're the man that you are, and you're so spiritual and so forth and so on. And she says, but I think we need to stop and be celibate and blah, blah, blah. And she says, and your beliefs. I said, hold on. I don't believe like that now. That part of it.
Don't believe what?
I'm not going to believe in the celibacy part. That's that part. I said, yeah, I sing the songs and know the scripture. I had one of them good Bibles with the rivers in it. What did Michelle say? Michelle said something.
He gonna win the church.
Say it.
Can you read what
good
Michelle? Dabriah, can you read what Michelle said? It says,
please.
I also do not judge others for their choices. I just know what doesn't work for me.
That's right.
Say that again.
I also don't judge others for their choices. I just know what doesn't work for me.
Absolutely.
Great point, Michelle. And that's basically what Reggie
said. I can't see a
said.
name, but before them, someone said, I just want somebody who's there for me. I think is what it said.
Okay, we'll have to go back and look at that. Look at that comment.
Derry said, shaking my head. Reggie still
He said
Reggie.
what? She said, oh, Derry shaking your head.
That's right.
Because Reggie, look, this is what I just got from what Reggie said. He sung with the church. I played the part. I sung the song.
Right.
I rejoiced in the scriptures. I did the little holy dance.
Gave the tithe and all the tithes and offering. I did all that.
Paid tithes too.
Oh, yeah.
He said we get in the parking lot. She said, I don't think we need to have sex no more.
I said, oh no, I don't believe like that now. I don't believe like
He said,
that.
I was a believer till you said that.
Not like that. That part we can't put in this relationship. Yes, sir.
Dabriah, stop encouraging them.
He said, I was a believer till you said that part.
And everybody,
Oh,
I mean, it is what it is for everybody. I'm just saying where I am. I don't knock anybody. It's what I do. I have to do it for me. And for those who want to be how they want to be, I'm with you.
Listen,
Yes,
Mr. David Powell, Reggie is honest. Reggie's gonna be Reggie, but he is honest. I love that about him.
David Powell. Appreciate you, Daddy Wade.
He said, yes, Reg.
Lisa said, so Reggie, you finessing Jesus, you ought to be ashamed.
No.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now. That's my daughter. But I'm finna tell you something. Carlita, you just want one of these books because I like that comment. You're finessing Jesus.
Whatever.
Hey, Reggie said, whatever.
Hey, I had the envelope with my address and name and all that. She said, oh my goodness. Yeah. She said, oh, you just so into it. Yeah. So maybe we should be, oh, no. I don't believe in it like that now. I'm not that spiritual. Not to that part. That part, we're going to cut out. No, we got to move forward.
So what did she say when you said you weren't?
She never said nothing else.
So y'all didn't speak again after that?
She didn't speak. That day, before we left that parking lot, she stopped talking.
Oh, did y'all come together or y'all met
Nope,
each other?
never
Oh,
did.
so y'all got into separate vehicles
did.
and went about your way.
Right. That's
All
it.
right.
That's it.
So we're getting back with what Kevin Samuel said, because a lot of what we're saying is, what I'm hearing anyway, is that you agree with what he said and you disagree with some of what he said. But what he's saying is his views on what he considers high value men and women who think that they deserve a high value man. What makes a woman think she deserves a man? Let me come drop the high value part. What makes a woman think that she deserves a man that should take care of her and she shouldn't have to do anything? Only thing she brings to the table is most important thing that she brings to the table is the PM
high value. Because you have women like myself, we're not looking for somebody to take care of us. Do I want you to be able to provide? Yes. You know why? Because if you can't take care of yourself, what are we doing? Like, can you get your basics together? Like, I don't need, like we were discussing earlier, you live with your mama, you able-bodied, you don't have no children, you don't have no bills, and you broke. Why? You can't even do for yourself. You don't have a place of your own. The economy is what it is, but you're not helping your mama with nothing. Like, there's just certain things I'm looking at because I'm judging your character. I have 2 still at home. I have 4 total. 2 still at home, 16 and 12. Okay. I'm not looking for a dad. They got dads. I'm not looking for nobody to pay the bills. I pay my bills. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I'm coming to the table with my basics met, why do you not have your basics met? I don't want to feel like I'm taking in another son. I want to feel like I'm coming into union with a man, not taking care of a son. You know what I mean? My 16-year-old, he's been working since he was legally able to with a permit. Before then, he cut grass, did whatever. This man comes home every week with a paycheck. What you look like a grown man coming into my life and you don't even make a paycheck and you can't even buy yourself a meal.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, my 16-year-old puts his own gas in his own car, and he's always telling me, "Mom, if you need something, I got you because I work." And I'm saying, "No, you my child or whatever." But if you have a child coming with this, why is a grown man, able-bodied, not doing the bare minimum for himself? I just feel like you can't take care of you. What are you offering? Because if you can't take care of you financially, what do you have to offer me mentally or whatever? Do you even have the drive to see about you? Like what are your, like, what's your purpose in life? What are you doing? Are you following your passions? Like, what you got going on?
Yeah, back in the chat, I think the one that we missed with that, Denise, y'all, thank you so much. Denise said, y'all got me rolling in tears. I'm laughing so hard. And Reggie, you got another.
I love it, though.
You got
I love Reggie.
Coming from your nephew. She said, Reggie, you going to first class.
She said you're going to hell on the first class flight.
That's fine. I'm with it. Put me in first class.
He said he's going to be the pilot.
That's right. Put me in first class, baby. I'm with it.
Yeah. I tell you. But again, though, you still had to clarify what makes a woman think she deserves a high value man.
Okay, what's a high value woman to you? How about this? What's a high value woman?
But again, my thing about value is about a woman's character. It's about
her
morality. It's about what she stands for. It's about how much she's willing to sacrifice.
I don't put no value on
See,
nothing.
so he don't have. He said value is just whatever. Your values are different from what Kevin
I'm asking you as a woman, what do you consider a high value man?
What I said earlier, your character. Because your character is going to determine everything else. Do you lie? Or are you honest? Do you have certain standards? Like, do you have certain standards that you uphold? What are your values? Are you accountable for self? Are you okay with trying to get over and swindle and hoodwink people all the time? Or are you an adult and you take responsibility for your life? Or do you blame other people for where you are in life? Or do you know what I mean? I'm like you. I look at things outside of monetary, because money is something that you can always make. It can always be earned. You can always start a business. You can always fund whatever. Money's something that's not really that hard to get if you just desperately need it. Whether you borrow it, steal it, whatever. But other stuff, you can't put a monetary value on. when you come home every day, can we talk about your day? If I'm having a hard time, can you be there and sit with me through my stuff? Even if you don't have the words, can you just sit there and be there? Do I feel like I have a partner? Do I feel like somebody got my back?
How long we gonna need to sit there? 'Cause I don't want to talk about my day. I don't want to talk about my day.
How long do we need? That's not valuable.
Okay. How long do we need to sit there and talk about each other's day? Because after that, hey, let's get to it. I'm just saying. My world is different.
But the thing about it, Reggie's honest and he told you his value. So for him, a high value woman would be one that can provide the physicality, right?
That's everything else. I always will say to women.
That's his definition of high value.
I'll take care of the federal. You take care of the state.
What's the state?
The state is that. The piano playing. Everything else we got. The federal is everything else. I'm not asking for nothing. I got everything. At my age, I don't need you to drive me. We drive together. But your part of driving is going to be this. See what I'm saying? The piano playing. I don't need you.
So you put the gas in the car.
We got all that. Your car gonna be clean. You gonna have gas in the car. If you need something, you got that. However, when I need what I need, I need that.
Consistent and ask why you ain't text me. That's crap. Are we gonna converse?
Okay, and Miss Michelle or Sunshine says, and why are men these days are not consistent? Then ask you why you ain't text me. That's crap. That's what you just read. And are we going to converse?
Or not?
No.
But see, this is what we talked about love languages before.
Well, yeah, we talking about love language. Again, it's something I learned
you have
from
people
Carly.
that need that emotional support. They need that stability. They need to feel like they have a companion.
Denise,
so they might enjoy talking. You are not that person.
If
like, I don't need all that talking. I need physical touch.
If you need the text, if you worried about a text them. If it's important to you, and I got this from Sam. If it's important to you, you text them.
But you don't want to always be the one to initiate it.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with Reggie. To me, because
if every single time I talk to you, it's because I reached out and you
okay.
never reach out.
That should be
but
okay.
I'm saying if you never reach out and I always reach out, I don't even feel like you interested because you never reach out.
So talking is not that important. It's just a matter of who was first. Is that what I'm asking you?
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, okay.
But you have to understand, I'm going to tell you something. And this is,
in a week of conversations that me and you have had,
I'm
the only one that has reached out to you. You have not once said good morning or hi.
But here's what.
And I'm the only one that reached out. You're not interested. I'm bugging you and you being polite replying to me.
Again, though, here we're talking about the love language. And I'll disclose this. I'm kind of an introverted person.
But you say something.
Wait a minute. Let me finish. What I mean was I'm introverted. If nobody ever calls me, I'm not upset because why ain't nobody calling me? I don't do that. You see what I'm saying? And wait a minute. Again, but that's the way I am.
But I'm saying the person.
But if somebody is with me, they will understand that because they'll know he's just not that kind of a person.
So if you're dating a woman, you're never gonna call her.
No, you're not listening to me. I'm saying if I forget or if I don't take it personal because
I'm not being that nitpicky. I'm just saying out of 100
no, because I'm definitely
going to
call. I'm definitely going to call and going to text.
All 100 of those conversations she initiated. You're not.
No, it's not going to be 100 of them. But I'm saying she'll initiate more than I will. But it's not because I don't care.
But
because
I'm the type of person. So that eliminates you from what we're
talking about. But what I'm saying
about.
is, so why would we? If she knows I'm that way, why would we ever have a problem with when I don't?
But you just excluded yourself from that whole thing because you said you will initiate sometimes. We're talking about when somebody.
I think that's an extreme. I think even Reggie will call every once in a while.
Well, I call all the time. I call all the time. I'm calling and texting all the time.
Okay, Michelle says when a man is trying to get you interested in him. He just stopped reaching. He stopped reaching out.
But at least you're making the effort.
Well, you saw that. That's why I showed you that right before the show. I'm calling and texting all the time.
But see, you're doing something right. You have some men that don't make any effort, and then they like, "Hey,
but we're not talking about that.
What have you done?
But again, we're not talking.
Sir.
Again, we're not talking about.
Well, now that's something you'll have to deal with on an individual basis.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you would deal with that particular person. So that's not bad. That's not wrong. You just deal with that person. Hey, I need this. You can tell a man what you need.
Yeah.
No, Sam. I mean, when a man is trying to get you interested in him, then he just stops reaching out.
Well, sometimes, and I can't speak for all men, Michelle, but in some regard, when they're reaching out, and if they're not getting a response that they wanted to get, they're going to say, "What's the use?" and move on to the next person. Because some women are not, they're not upfront about what it is that they're expecting from that man. And then when he don't give them what they expected, you penalize him for not knowing, but you didn't make it clear to him. If he's trying to reach out, and he doesn't, that's what I'm saying. Communication.
That's the whole.
Because sometimes they'll just stop, like, we'll say, "Well, I did this for her." She said, "Well, okay."
Because I can't say this to women. I know
okay.
how y'all like to tussle. Don't beat me up too bad, but I can't say this. Women are guilty sometimes of thinking a man is just supposed to know what we want.
Nobody does that. Nobody should know that.
Y'all be clueless, and I mean, you should be, because nobody can just predict what somebody wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't make it clear, hey, this is what I like. Could you do more of this, or could you do this thing? And then you didn't even agree to do something because you didn't even know that's what I wanted. But I'm mad because I was expecting you to do it and you didn't. That's kind of, now that's delusional.
Okay,
I forget what Kevin on that.
Okay, there
How
we
you
go.
expect somebody to read your mind? You have to communicate clear expectations and needs and wants.
Here's a situation. Text. Good evening. Response. Good evening. How are you? How was your day? Blah, blah, blah. Back and forth, back and forth. That's it. Then, later on, hey, had a busy day, tired, but I'll be up for a while. I go on. The time I got to get ready to go to work. Next day, I get a text. When I said I'll be up for a while, I meant for you to call me. No. Just tell me to call you. Just tell me to call you. Don't tell me you're going to be up for a while. I don't know what that is. Can you call me? Sometimes just tell me. Here's what it is. Tell me I'm good.
Michelle says, I am very blunt about what I want and need to stay connected.
And that is
in your opinion, you're very blunt.
Thank you.
But if you're saying you're very blunt and he doesn't receive it that you're very blunt, then guess who you're not very blunt to? The very
No, but some men can't take women that are direct, because I have that issue too.
Sometimes
one man told me I was doing too much because I was communicating, because I'm not one of those women that are just gonna stand idly by and not tell you what I want and what I need. I make my expectations clear, and I give you the opportunity to do the same. What is it that you need? What is it that you want? Okay, well, here's what I need and what I want. I'm kind of like Reggie, where it's on the table up front, so you can take it or you can leave it. And then some men, when they tell you, okay, this is what you want, I can provide that. And then when they don't provide it, wait, you knew that I liked this or needed this and you didn't provide it. Well, you just being extra. No, I'm not, because up front I told you.
Okay, Reggie said, Derek Wood said you need a spiritual cut, buddy.
That's it. Whatever that could be. We can go to church, but we just don't take it to that level. We can
go to church, but we ain't gonna be celibate though.
Yeah, we can take out the bits and pieces that we need. But also remember too, a woman who's real direct, depending on how she's sounding, it can come off as being slick.
When you say slick, what do you mean?
When I said slick talk,
I'm a lot less aggressive than the way I just presented.
I talked to women. I said, you're coming kind of slick talking, kind of masculine.
Break it down.
Sometimes you can come off slick, masculine, talking to you like they're a man.
Woo!
And I said that to him. I said, if I didn't know it,
somebody talking to you like a man.
I give you a real example.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of men out here that want me. Lawyers, doctors, accountants, and I come home to you.
Oh, now see that's
whoa. Baby girl, I'm good.
That ain't even masculine. That's toxic masculinity.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's toxic
masculinity.
That's what
I have taught.
Toxic masculinity. There's such a thing, and Kevin said,
I will show you. I will show you the text message where I said that cursing, that profanity, that masculine talk.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need that. And I know where that comes from, because they get talked to like that. From some of their previous relationships. Again, folks, I'm talking about 60-year-old women.
Some women just don't.
Yeah, put this thing in context.
Because it's hard for some women.
And like Sam said, let me put it in context.
Put it in context, bro.
I'm talking about 60-year-old women, people. So by the time they get to me, they've had marriages, failed relationships, bad children, bad credit, bad. They sleeping on the floor. They're sleeping on the floor at their daughter's house. I run into all of that. 5 or 6 of them in a house.
Well, then they shouldn't even be trying.
On the air mattress,
What I
just gotta
say,
leave.
you ain't even got your bases together. You shouldn't even be trying to
Right.
date nobody.
Right.
Get yourself together. Then you don't bring your anger and resentment and stuff because
Right.
you
Well,
got
they don't.
together first.
A lot of times, what happens is they don't include themselves in the self-preservation. They
Yeah.
want somebody else
A lot
to
of people don't
validate
take
them. They want
accountability.
somebody. That's what I'm saying.
Like
I
you in a
understand that-
situation because stuff happened to you, not because you made bad choices or you not
Oh,
responsible.
they made-
But and I
choice.
think to bring it all back on, I think that's what Kevin Samuels is saying to some of these women on it, and he comes out partially what he said. But I think his overall message is that you've made some bad choices in your life,
Right.
and with those bad choices came consequences. Some of those consequences don't go away immediately.
And
they
like
don't go away
Reggie
over time.
said,
They stay
some
with
people
you,
don't like
but you don't
being
have to,
true.
and they don't want to understand that
Because
you know,
it brings accountability.
because
and a
it
lot
brings
of people
accountability.
Can't say,
And a
well,
lot of
it's my
women-
fault. They gotta blame somebody.
And a lot of women, if you got 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies,
I have four
wait a
different
minute.
men.
And
I
it's
take
like
full
Kevin
accountability.
Samuels said, and you still out here looking for a man that makes $100,000 to $150,000 a year or more. When realistically, the average man makes about $40,000 a year. That's realistically. So you have a better shot at getting with one of those people, one of those men who will take care of you, who will care about you. And no, you may not live in the split levels, 3,000 square foot mansion and all that and stuff like that. But it gets back to what you were saying about the guy that drove the trash truck. He takes care of you. He makes sure that you feel well. He cares about your well-being. He makes sacrifices. He's working 2 jobs. He's doing whatever it takes to make you comfortable. But a lot of women don't want that guy that's hanging
I
off the
want to
trash.
hear
They want that guy that's coming home.
response to this.
Response. Okay, let me give that.
Alexis says if a man's ego is fragile, everything is masculine. And I'm thinking she's saying,
Now, who says
and him
this?
as well, Alexis Smith. Men die alone in nursing homes. And wait,
Men die
there's
alone
more.
in nursing homes. Reggie?
Expectations lead to disappointment. We have subconscious expectations on people based on our values. This is all still Alexis. Some men don't like direct women. I agree with her on that. They just want you to take what they give you.
Really?
And so address that. How do y'all, as men, how do y'all feel about those comments?
I guess the ego thing. I can't understand because I mean myself. I don't have a quote unquote big ego because I know who I am, and it's nothing that you can say that's going to take that away from me. You can say whatever you want to.
Mature, evolved man, though. We don't have a lot of emotionally mature
I don't know who else to
men
talk to
walking
because as you said, I'm a mature.
You're emotionally mature.
But because Reggie asked me this
Which
one
is
time,
rare for
the
men.
Sam at 25 as opposed to the Sam at that time was 50.
And even though Reggie's making us laugh, Reggie is very emotionally mature. Because he can tell you what he wants. He's not going to have a tantrum if you say, well, you don't want what he wants. Okay, fine. Well, we can go our separate ways. Y'all are both emotionally mature males. Believe it or not, that is rare out here in these dating streets. You have men that will have a whole meltdown. Look at how much femicide goes on. Look how many men will kill a woman and her children because he mad because he didn't like something going on with her, or he got in his feelings about something and he turned the gun on himself. That's happening more and more often. I want to say they said 3 to 5. Don't quote me, but 3 to 5 women are killed by men every day in certain type situations, like romantic situations. And that number is steady increasing because a lot of men aren't emotionally mature. They don't know how to deal with whatever pressures or stresses they have. And so they take it on that woman. Oh, I want to be celibate. Oh, now I got to beat you up and I got to beat you to sleep. You ain't going to wake up again. Nobody's going to see you because I thought that we was going to do the do. And when you changed your mind and now you flip and you snap and now you beat me up. You see what I'm saying?
And again, I get that he put the value on the piano player.
Yes.
And
but emotionally mature men, like Reggie can say, my value is on that piano playing.
And if you don't
I
want to
can
do it,
that,
I can walk away
I'll
with it.
provide you like one of the previous podcasts we did.
Yeah.
When Reggie said,
He'll
you
do
take
15
care of
things.
that, I'll check off your whole list. I just want this one thing. And as long as you give me that, we're going to be fine. But you have other men who can't do that. It's like, well, if you don't give me the one thing that I want, it's not, well, it's fine. Like Reggie said, not going to find somebody who will. It's, oh, well, you ain't going to give me that. Well, I'm going to make you. And now they're trying to control you and manipulate you and something's wrong with you instead of something being wrong with the fact that they can't make the decision to walk away because they feel like their needs aren't being met.
Okay.
Emotionally mature people can say, okay, I can just leave and find it elsewhere.
Okay, in the chat, we got Denise Brown, Sugar Brown. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Denise said, I don't ask for nothing but my man, my man time, if he chooses to help me, it's good.
They don't want women who just want some time. I promise you they don't.
Wait a minute. That's not fair.
It don't seem like it.
They not being fair. That's not true.
It don't seem like it. I know some women that ask for the sun, moon, stars, and they break their neck trying to give it to her and complain the whole time. And then a woman like me come and just say, hey, just spend some time with me. Let's get to know each other. I just want some quality time with you.
But there are men out there that will spend.
That can't even do that.
There are men out there that will spend time with you.
Yeah, the married
piano
ones.
players notwithstanding.
Yeah, the married ones. The married ones will. They shot all day long. Not the single ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want the, and I think I heard Alexis say this before on her page. And this is something that would be great for y'all to address. Men want the B word women. They want them sassy, always got something.
No, that's
the
not
ones that are submissive and
don't want that, man.
That's not true.
Everybody want that.
What do you
like
need?
that. That's
but
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
A lot of men
what's going on, Constance? Thanks for watching. Chime in here on this.
No, man.
I'm telling you, when you bring that piece,
I tell you
everybody not equipped to have
I tell you what.
So they say they want it.
You talking to a man to get him out of here.
But you're emotionally mature.
See that? Look how good I am on that. See that?
Look.
Look.
He got it down to a science.
Yeah.
So you're emotionally mature.
You are out of here again. Whatever that lady said about ego and all that, got all that. If you talk slick to me,
you be talking
and
to
I perceive it as slick talk, I will warn you. You know you're talking kind of slick.
They get one warning.
That's all you need. And
what do you mean 3 to 5 women? Alexis says he knows what I'm talking about. A lot of men have ego issues. Most were not raised with a masculine in the home, and they are so fragile.
Most men were raised around a female. That is why a lot of times they respond
in
a feminine way, in their emotions and stuff like that. That happens, and I get that. That's why they want to shoot up the house and the dog and then turn the gun on themselves. They don't know any other way. Because when they leave their mother,
emotionally immature.
Right, because when they leave mother, she drops them off at the grandmother's house. You see what I mean?
What's up,
then she's around, that young man is around all of her sisters. You see what I mean? So he's constantly.
All these women.
Huh?
But you know what? But here's the thing. Because a lot of
I don't know.
But some men can use that as an excuse.
I know
But there are some men that are emotionally mature and that do have stuff going for themselves, and they didn't have a dad in the home or uncle or granddad to intervene, but they chose to rise to the occasion and do something different. They chose to
They had an uncle, they had uncles, they had grandfathers.
Some didn't.
Some did. Well, now that's anything.
But you have men that are real men that chose to, instead of saying, well, I didn't have a man in my life, they took the initiative
Well, that's
to
just
say,
an excuse.
Exactly.
Because when we were growing up during our time,
but you got some who use it as an excuse. But some that'll say, I'm going to be something different because I know how it affected me, so I'm going to be more responsible. I'm gonna seek out how to be a man. We live in an age now where information is so available to you, and there are men out there that will mentor you if you reach out.
That information, some of the information out there is wrong.
Indeed, but
so if
can you give somebody credit for seeking it instead of saying, "Oh, I'm wounded, I'm hurt, I'm just gonna say hurt," or can you respect somebody who says, "I'm gonna go find a cure for myself," or "I'm gonna be the cure for myself," "I'm gonna work through myself."
Yeah,
it's not everybody will do that.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's not.
I had one woman, and this is another story, one story. She said, "I've been in therapy."
Yeah.
And I realized what you were saying. And I realized I had a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that if you're willing to work through some of your issues, we could have a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I ain't got but one issue.
I know where it's going.
And she says, yeah, I know about that. But if you're willing to work with me, I got the therapy for that.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Okay.
That's my therapy.
You don't think that was harsh?
No, it's not.
It's right to say I'm
asking the question.
No, Sam, it's not harsh. You said you know what it is.
But we have to give people room to be able to say, I don't want to deal with this.
Then don't
Instead of them pretending and dragging us along.
I understand all of that, but what I'm saying, where's the empathy for this woman who's
I don't need that. No. You're going to get that from somebody else. You're not getting from therapy.
I think the
The therapist told her. The therapist told her you need to do better.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Dude,
if she came to
they
you,
don't have no problem when they want something.
so again,
They don't have
Can
no
of worms be
problem
opened? Alert,
when
alert.
they want something.
they don't want when they were eating the jumbo shrimp.
Hey,
When they
Sam,
were-
He said the $100
Sam,
crab
come on.
legs.
Sam, I got another one for you.
Let me
Hey,
give it to.
I don't know if I should be doing all this. I just got my new teeth.
These
You ready? You ready?
We
You ready?
we had to put it on the third. That's
Did you
the
meet
point
on
about
the day
being
now?
ready.
Did you meet on the day
Yeah, but
now?
listen to me. Listen to me.
It's not
Listen
about
to me.
it's
the
about
day
we
now.
Listen
we
to
down the
me.
rabbit
But
hole
listen to
now.
me. Listen to me.
Right.
We threw the
Listen
looking
to me.
man. Okay.
Your teeth. You didn't say nothing about no teeth when you were eating that steak. You didn't say nothing about your jaw when you were eating that steak.
Did he say
He
Joe?
said, "Joe."
It was something about a jaw had something had happened.
Yeah.
Hell, you didn't say nothing about your jaw when you were eating that steak. Don't tell me about your jaw now. And what I'm saying, as long as they getting what they want, hey, look, they good. But here's what we got to do. This is the deal. That's it. If not, you are in the way.
You holding somebody else up.
You're holding somebody else up.
Okay, listen,
Hey,
real quick.
yeah,
Listen, like everybody, I don't know if everybody on there, Derek Wood just cracked up laughing.
Denise
Yeah,
says
yeah,
why
yeah.
some men don't want
But-
a hard-working woman.
Whatever.
But that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. But anyway, here's the thing. We broadcast simultaneously on Facebook Live and Anchor, but our Anchor audience is only privy to an hour while we will continue to go on with this discussion on our Facebook Live page. And of course, the whole thing will be uploaded on our YouTube page, which we need everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Get our subscriptions up to 1,000. That's our goal. So we slowly but surely we getting there. We think we're at 120 now. So before we get ready to get out of here, we got and say goodbye to our Anchor audience. Reggie, is there anybody you want to shout out to? No, it's almost been an hour. Yeah.
Wow.
We got about 3 minutes with our Anchor audience, but like I say, we'll continue the discussion on Facebook Live, and this whole discussion will be up on Facebook here in a couple of hours. But Reggie, is anybody you want to shout out?
I just want to shout out to everybody, to all our fans, all the people listening all around the world, all the different platforms which we posted on Facebook, and just keep doing what you're doing. Run your race.
Miss Dabriah? Anybody you want to shout out to before we say goodbye to our Anchor audience? Like I said, we'll continue on Facebook.
Just shout out to everybody and thank y'all for tuning in and listening.
Okay, I got a couple of shout outs I want to give to. One, I want to give to Donald Ryden and his wife. They're doing a kickball tournament. It's called Kicking for Autism. April the 24th. All proceeds will go between 4 organizations / families that are on the front line with the autism thing. One of them being the Hope for Xavier Foundation. You can see it on my page. Up to shoot on his page. You got a website. We're trying to get up as many kickball teams as we can. $200 per entry. If you're a vendor out there, if you're selling something, we got vendor spots for $50, non-refundable, because I know it may rain. If it rains, all the proceeds are going to go to those organizations that are going to be doing that. So again, mark your calendars. It's going to be April the 24th, 1 o'clock at Victor Lloyd Park kickball tournament. We got at least 4 teams now. We would love to have at least 8. So if you get up your kickball team, the entry fee is $200. Again, for you people who are just starting up your businesses, it'll be a great networking opportunity. We got places out there for, I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like 30 vendor spots. My guy Mark Wilson, he's said he's going to be on board. He's with an organization called Autism Game. He sells merchandise. He has a son that has autism as well. Mark and I become very good friends. He's going to be out there. If you're selling paparazzi, or if you're selling Truly Cosmetics, my daughter's with it, and Carletha, she's got an Astonish business that she's going to get ready to relaunch because she's been down because of surgery. But if any of you have any questions about that, you can hit me up, inbox me, Messenger, Facebook Live. Some of you got my Facebook page, inbox me, and I'll give you more information about that. But come join us, come help us, and make this to be one of a great event, something we want to probably continue on. And be on the lookout for some upcoming news for the Hope for Xavier Foundation Black Tie Gala. Maybe a little bit different this year, but it's coming back May, August, sometime in there. We'll be back. We've had a 2-year hiatus, but we've been able to do what we need to do. But anyway, that is all I wanted to shout out. We're going to continue this discussion because it is getting rather lively. So, Anchor, goodbye to our Anchor audience. And like I said, you can listen to this on your way to work. We'll download it and press the link. Just listen to it on the way to work. But anyway, thank you and goodbye to Anchor. So we're going to continue the discussion. And Denise said, why some men don't want a hard-working woman. I would like to know, who are those men that don't want a hard woman?
Before you answer that,
yes.
Cedric asked, what is your YouTube channel? I told him I'll tag it in the comments later. But
okay, my YouTube channel is Samuel Hutchins. You'll just type in Samuel Hutchins. You'll see a guy that's standing there with with a blue suit on. That would be me. We're going to change some of that so it'll be more relevant. Change the name of it from Samuel Hutchins to the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast / Hope for Xavier Foundation. So, but yeah, I'll probably type that in the description. Okay, now what did Derek is saying?
He said, I'm with Reggie all day. I've been through the same relationships. Everything is fine until it's time.
Until it's, like you talking about the time for the piano playing, as we call it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now listen.
But why is that the be all the end all?
Right. Alexis says a man only sees his value in his money. They are intimidated by a woman who makes more. They think she won't need him. And hang on, because my comments are acting kind of crazy.
Okay.
What is your YouTube? Or y'all like the young, dumb, and needy ones because you can control them.
Who said that?
Latoya said that.
Toya?
My baby mama. Hey, baby mama.
She said what now?
Some men like the young, dumb ones who can control them.
Well, I can't speak to that because like I said, I'm 60 years old and I can't really speak to that. Reggie, what do you say?
Do you date younger women?
Do you date younger women?
And if you do, what's your reason for picking her? Is it because she's younger? Do you have a certain?
I date women. Some of them I don't even know how old they are. They'll tell me. I know they're not 30. They'll tell me.
Okay.
I'm trying so hard.
Let me say something.
I date women.
I date women. I like who likes me.
Hey,
I get all that. If you make more than me, I'm fine. There's no problem. But you know, most of the time, I'm going to put the bill. If the check comes, I got it. I'm not going to say, hey, you check the check. Oh, I pay my own way. Stop. As a man, most of the time, it's going to be dependent on me. Yeah. And I'm going to take care of that. What you make is what you make. I don't ask women what they make. I don't care. I know what I make, and I got it. And that's what we're going to do.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Throw it in the bag.
We're going to do it.
Just throw it in the bag.
Okay,
we're going to do it.
Okay. So, Dabriah, what would you consider a high-value man?
Is it published? Is it published, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I already said I place value on somebody's values, if that makes sense. Like we discussed earlier, if you somebody who okay with getting over and scamming and all, because I'm looking at other things connected to that. That means you a lie, and if you lie, you'll steal, and if you steal, you'll cheat. Like it's certain stuff attached to that. So high value is not necessarily a dollar amount for me. Do you have drive? Do you have ambition? Do you even want to see about yourself? Like, what kind of person are you in general? I won't necessarily say high value because I believe everybody is valuable.
Right.
I really do, and everybody has the potential to be great in their own right, in their own lane. If I say high value in comparison to what? Why are we comparing people when everybody is different? Everybody's ambitions and dreams and goals are different. So I wouldn't say high value, but I place high value on morals and standards and who you are as a person. Because I can't bring some shady, halfway crooked man around my boys and he's everything that I'm trying to teach them to not be. If I'm trying to teach you how to be an honest person, if I'm trying to teach you how to be a person who goes out and gets what you need, why am I going to bring a bum with no values to the house? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, so that's my thing. I place value on values. I highly value values.
Well, Emma Sims, hey, how you doing? But see, I think that's what I'm saying. That's what stuff gets misconstrued at when it comes to Kevin Samuels. When he starts talking about value, because he starts talking about price. What's price and worth are not the same thing.
Because guess what? Those high value men that he's proclaiming, like the men that make millions and billions of dollars, you could lose it all. So does that mean now you're not valuable because you
That's
lost
what I'm
your money?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
You lost your
can't lose
investments,
your value
you know,
because
you
of pride
lost
or
your
money.
assets. You know, you can get all those things back, but are you not valuable until you get them back if you lose them? Michelle said, I'll pay my own way because I don't want a man to believe I owe him sex in exchange for that. Yeah, what is this thing with men?
Okay,
Some men
Michelle.
just expect that they value
Hold on,
something.
let Reggie respond to
They
that.
just entitled to some
I want
booty.
Reggie to respond to that.
Okay, Michelle. Then pay your way. I'm good. I'm
Michelle,
good.
leave
And
Reggie
again,
alone, Michelle.
At the end
He
of the
said
day,
what he said
keep
now.
it. Keep it, and it's okay. No problem there.
Jacqueline Price.
Pay your
Yeah.
own way. I'm good.
Hey, Jackie.
I'm good.
Thanks for watching.
I'm good. Thank you, Michelle. I'm good. I'm good. Back and forth and all this. And
So,
million a week.
but
and it
where,
go-
but where
Come on,
is
man.
it written, or where is it said that if a woman lets a man pay her way, she owes him
That's
sex?
how men act.
No, all of us don't
And
act
I
that way.
remember I told you before, my dad, one of the things he taught me was to always have your own money and can pay your own way just in case, because a lot of men feel like if they pay you owe. And that's
But shouldn't you know that if a man thinks that way before you go
some
out
men
looking
do
at someone?
just like
That's what
Reggie
I'm
did.
saying,
Some
son.
men
Come
do
on,
just
man.
like
Come
Reggie
on,
did.
man.
They'll go to church
Come
with
on,
you. They play the part. They will ride all the rides and do all this stuff with you. And then because they bought you a hamburger on the way home, you're supposed to drop your pants. Like some of them act like that.
That's
They do.
all.
But some, I'm not saying all y'all. Some act like that. They feel like if I did anything for you, that means I'm supposed to get sex and on demand at that. Some of them feel like that. They do.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of women are experiencing. Because I bought you this nice dinner, or because I bought you this person. Oh, you gonna give me some? And I'm not asking. Like some act that way. Ladies, have y'all had an experience where a man expected you to exchange?
That's old school.
Sexual favors for
That's old school. Ain't nobody doing
Alexis says money doesn't make you a good person. Billionaires get divorced too.
so it's not about the money.
And she said a lot of men like young girls. And okay, I think that was the last comment I have from her. Well, that I see on my screen.
Really?
Okay, like I said, you two are emotionally mature. And right now, the dating climate that we live in, y'all are anomalies. So from men like you two, your perspective, if you pay for something, does it always mean that she owes you a sexual favor?
I guess I'm from the old school, but a lot of times, and again, I may be a little out of touch because I hadn't been on the dating scene in about almost 5 years. So, but if I was on the dating scene, a lot of times it's about me enjoying that lady's company, and I appreciate that. It has nothing to do with what's going on with her, because I appreciate her as a woman, and she doesn't owe me anything. But I appreciate her presence and the good that we had a good time. We laughed, or her presence.
On the flip side, let me ask you this, because it's not always on the men. You have women now like operating in that masculine energy, like Reggie said. There are some women, they expect sex on the first date. How would you approach if you met a lady and you took out your first time going out, at the end of the day she expected sex from you? What would your reaction be?
Me at 60 or me at 25? But again, now I'm not doing that, because when you get to a certain age, maturity-wise, you have to think past the sex. Mm-hmm. Before, when I'm 25, I'm just thinking about getting the sex. I'm just thinking about the sex. I'm not thinking about what happened. I'm not thinking about, she may start stalking me, or she may, start coming to my house or unannounced, or she may, show up in a wedding dress or something like that because we had sex. Well, that's some bit extreme. But don't
I thought you had a story.
I got one, but I'm not telling you here. I respect them when they did some crazy.
Wow.
You'd be surprised at some of the stuff that happened to me. If you didn't know me, you would know.
Wow.
Trust me, I've come a long way. But what I'm saying is, no, I wouldn't. Because again, like I said, I haven't been in a relationship now in a number of years. And I have not went that way with anybody for the simple reason I don't want to mislead anybody. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know how mature they are emotionally. Because a lot of people will tell you, I can compartmentalize it so it can be just sex. They can say that.
Well, you said 25
but I don't believe that.
And current, you are different.
Oh, absolutely.
There was a meme I read the other day that said a doctor told somebody that men don't mature emotionally until about 43, and it was a joke or whatnot.
That was a joke. That was a lie.
What age do you feel
that was
like?
A joke, that was a lie.
What age do you feel like the 25-year-old you left and you evolved into the Sam today, to where it's not about?
I would say it started when I was, say, 30, the birth of my son, because of then. A long time ago, and I tell people this all the time. We are all the sum total of our life's experience. How we handle those experiences, good times, bad times, ups, downs, stuff that we can control, stuff that we couldn't control, regrets, all of that. That's the sum total of who we are, and it's how we react going forward. Now, what happens, what means, and I would say, to me being the person I am now, that journey started at 8. It started at 8. There were some things and events that took place with me at 8 that changed my life forever. I won't disclose them here, but that started me on a journey, because as I got older and started some of the stuff that I was doing with it, would always come back to that 8-year-old Sam and where he was. You see what I'm saying? So to be where I am now, and then to say that what got me here was, again, the sum total of my life experiences and how I handled them.
But you've dealt with what happened to 8-year-old Sam, right?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I have not. Honestly, that's a whole nother subject altogether. And I'm not going to disclose that.
Understood.
But because that 8-year-old comes back.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is,
but you see how you're emotionally mature enough to say that and recognize that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are not in that place. You know what I mean? And so they're bringing that, and they're responding as their trauma, as opposed to responding as choosing to be more than their trauma or something.
Well, yeah, it's not. It didn't define me, because we're talking 1970. You know how racism,
I'm proud of you for that.
all of, and a whole bunch of other stuff that was going on, and to like I said, to get to the 60-year-old Sam that I am now, because a lot of people. Some of them may be in the chat. They remember when I was out there doing some of everything.
Michelle said you did come a long way. She said you have.
Yeah. And you have to understand, like, again, you talk about your life's experience, and I would always say the number one thing that really got me spiritually on the journey that I'm on will be the birth of my son and my children. The thing that I've seen, the God presence in my children. Especially Xavier, Carlita, Talisha, Dante, and even the ones that aren't biologically mine, Lucretia, Michelle, Andrea, Nicole, Tabori, all those, I had relationships with, and they still matter to me now. They were part of that process too. You see what I mean? Becoming who I am because of the experiences that I had with them. And you can go back even further, even before I had children. I was dating someone, and a nickname. Her name was Peaches. But basically, she was before I even had children. She had a child, and I learned how to care about somebody else's child as though they were yours, and to have that connection. All of that turned me to the person you see here. All of that was necessary. For me, because where I am now, and the inner strength that I draw from, my children, of course, God Almighty, to stay into, what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do, and stay to that, because I won't change. I'm not going to change, and you'll have to accept that for what it's worth. But that journey to where I am, I recognize all the heartaches, all the ups and the downs, and my life experiences with people. And I've always had this kind of attitude where I want to help as many people as I can. And again, my help never obligates anybody. And so to me, and I understand that some people may look at me like, nah, he's not that, or he's that. You can say that that's your opinion, your title, have it. I'm not going to change. But I do recognize this, that I'm a very complex person. I'm not complicated. I am not. It's not very complicated with me. I'm complex. I understand that. I understand that I'm a complex person, and I'm not for everybody. I mean, Reggie can attest to that. He can tell you that. He tells me all the time.
He didn't make any excuses, though.
No, I couldn't.
Which is awesome.
But the thing I did know, excuses will hinder you.
Exactly.
And Reggie tells me all the time, he says, Sam, you're not no ordinary dude.
You're not.
But I think I am. I'm sorry, I do. I
The
think I
great
am.
ones always do. The great ones never
think I am.
realize.
I don't think there's anything special about
and that's
me.
what makes you guys so great.
And like I said, that's my friend, my brother from another mother. I say that jokingly, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean the way I feel about this guy over here. And in doing this podcast with him, and some of the subjects that we talk about, they are more serious than others. But doing this podcast with him, you know, it just gives me a better opportunity to see him in a different light, and it defines and confirms the friendship that he and I have. For me, that's what it does for me.
Alexis says, "What's your sign?
Aquarius." Why?
And are you married?"
No, I'm not. Anything else?
I'm thinking
Shoe
she's
size?
gonna respond.
10.5. Shit.
Reggie,
Yes, ma'am.
if you pay for something for a woman when you first meet her, are you expecting
No, but we done talked about that before I even go out. Well,
sex? Did you? Oh, okay.
yeah, but see, people understand something. I deal with 50 and 60-year-old women. Go ahead and get that out there, brother.
Yeah.
I deal with 50 and 60-year-old women. I deal with adult women. I don't deal with children, 20, 25, 30. My kids are that age. I deal with 50, 60-year-old women. I don't need their car, home, money, none of that. Here's what it is, folks. If that's not your bag, I'm good. And I have met women who have said, I don't think we'll get along. And I said, fine.
Reggie said he's too old to be playing with.
I got too,
That's what he's saying. He's
my
not too old to be
time
playing with y'all.
has become valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I knock what no one does. My time is valuable. I'm on a different road.
I second
There are
that.
different ways to get to the airport. None of it is wrong. I go this way.
I love Reggie. I promise you.
I go this way.
And
That's
if you want
it.
to go a different way, then you can just go a different way.
Right. So this is the way I go. I still get to where I need to get to. I'm good. But everyone has to answer and deal with their own thing. So I don't knock it. I'm just giving a different perspective on this thing.
Reggie, have you ever been in a monogamous relationship?
All the time. Every last one of them is
You talking about
monogamous. Every last one of them is monogamous.
You got to explain what it, because he mean monogamous till the next morning.
Every one of them is monogamous.
To when?
Till you give me a reason. Till you give me a reason to be another way.
What's your longest monogamous relationship?
I'm gonna say 29 years. I mean, when I was married. I mean,
okay,
that's
so you've
it.
been married. Okay.
Yeah. So, and again, I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm like Sam. No one can tell you this guy did me this way. Treated me bad, low down, no.
Now, ladies, we do have proof from
Yeah.
one of our previous podcasts. A lady chimed in and she said when she dealt with Reggie, he was always good to her.
I'm gonna just keep it
So-
one.
So what now?
She said Reggie was always good to her. I forget
Who
what her
said
name
that?
was.
I forgot.
I think that first podcast, no, not this one. That first one, remember, because we were talking about buying bags, buying
Right.
handbags, purses, and she was like, Reggie was
Patricia,
always
Patricia,
good. He
yeah,
bought me
Patricia
stuff, he
just-
was always good to
Patricia
me.
just
Good.
chimed in.
He
She
said
said
he would never
what?
mean to her.
She said that's,
She said he's a good man.
oh, me.
I'm thinking she's talking about Reggie,
She's talking
but
about
I
Reggie?
think both of y'all are good men. I think Reggie a good man too.
Patricia,
you
He's
talking
just
about
an
me or
honest man.
Reggie?
He's extremely honest, which we need
shit.
more of.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Alexis said Reggie's old school.
With me, you know what you get. That's it. With Sam, you know what you get.
Yeah.
And Alexis said that's for your age, Reggie. These men ain't like that. I
I
gotta agree
know
with
about 30,
Alexis.
40-year-old men.
this new
I don't
batch
know
of
nothing about
men-
that. Yeah. This new crew that's out there, I don't
There
know
are a
nothing about
lot
that.
of women our age. Alexis, how old are you? I'm 41. There are a lot of women my age, and I think Alexis is in her 30s. Don't quote me on that. She'll respond in a second, I'm sure. Are dating older men just for that simple fact that this new batch is it's just real different. Like I mentioned off air, I have never met so many men who want to be taken care of like women or children in my life. I don't understand. It's like I literally met somebody within a week. He was asking me for money.
Whoa.
Okay.
A man?
Okay.
Yes. Hey, say that again.
A man?
Exactly. And when I said that, how do you feel as a grown man asking me, a single mom taking care of children, for money? Well, you know what he said?
What?
We ain't like you ain't got it. I know you good for it, much as you work.
Right.
Okay, so why you not good for it? Do you work? How much do you work?
Exactly.
So I mean, that's what we're dealing with. So I think when we're having this discussion, it's important to inject the fact that the age differences play a part, because y'all are seeing different trends than what we saw. You get what I'm saying? Your age.
Not really, because you losing me a little bit. Not really. What you?
As far as some of the expectations, like you're financially
Okay,
stable,
she said it's Sam Duran and I'm a good man.
He's a good
Thank you,
man,
Patricia. I
Sam
appreciate
Duran.
that.
Did it work?
But you guys are men who take care of yourselves. You do what men are supposed to do, what we were traditionally raised to believe that men are supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're being faced with a lot of men. There are men that, as Kevin Samuel says, that are high value men, you know, that do whatever. But for the general population that are not in the 1% or the 5% or the 10%, the rest of the general population,
Yeah.
you have a lot of men, the ones that you said on average make $40K.
Well, that's what the average man makes.
You have the
$40,000 a
subset
year, yeah.
that make less than that, and some that make zero because they don't work and they want some woman to take care of them.
But again,
and they're not ashamed or afraid to ask you.
But here's the thing: it gets back to what you said earlier when we like our quote unquote.
Alexis is 33.
She's 33.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got a child that's 34. So, but it gets back to what you were saying. It's what women allow too.
And then
if a guy comes at you like that, you want to say, if a guy comes at you like that off the rip, that should be it. You know, no. Check. Or as Reggie like to say, check please. That's what I'm saying.
But you but I think I'm better than everybody. Something wrong with me because I cut you off because you're a grown man who asked me for money and you just met me. But something is wrong with me. Nothing wrong with you though, sir.
But that's
the mentality of some of them though. There's no accountability. Never mind the fact that you're a grown, able-bodied man who's fully capable of working just as hard as I do, if not harder. And you were okay asking me for money, but something is wrong with me because not only do I decline your request, but then I cut you off. Like, what you say? What's the thumb?
Check, please.
Check. Get them out of there.
But something is wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with a grown man asking women for money.
Now, how long do you let them guys hang around when they ask for money and go through all that?
I don't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You keep it moving. You keep it moving.
But that's
But the mentality. But here's the thing.
But they think they're supposed to move in with you.
I don't have a problem with that.
And lay on your sofa while you go to work and play your kids' PlayStation while you go to work and your kids at school. Eat your kids' snacks up, and you come home and cook for them while they do nothing, and you at work and your kids at school.
Get back out of it. You good?
Okay, we're good. Okay, yeah.
So what we got? Who we got? What is that? So at the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying that we'll agree. Michelle, what did Michelle say?
Michelle said that's an entirely different conversation when you express you aren't interested and a man bashes you thinking you should be grateful someone is interested.
I don't quite understand that. So that
when you express you're not interested, somebody comes on you and you express you're not interested, they treat you like you should be grateful that somebody wants you, kind of thing.
Well, that's his issue. It shouldn't be yours. That's
shouldn't be his issue. But you know, a lot of us are treated like something is wrong with us, or you think you too good for somebody. You ought to be glad somebody wants you with them 4 kids. But that's
what they'll start to do. They'll start to try to degrade you. But again, only if you participate. They can only degrade you if you let them degrade you. That's what I'm saying.
Alexis says they aren't men, they're males. Giovanni says they're boys, not men. And I agree. We need more men.
What? Okay.
Alexis says they want to be feminine, and it's a lot of them.
I keep hearing that word a lot about today's men as feminine. I guess I'm not really paying much attention.
The same way that you're noticing a lot of women presenting more masculine energy is flipping. The tables are flipping, and there are men showing a lot of feminine energy too, as in wanting to be taken care of. As in, like I said, I was asking this one guy, are you looking for a woman or are you looking for a mama? Because I mean, 2 days of conversation, you already asked me for 5 things. Did I give it to you? No, but I'm like, and you ask, why are you asking me for
And he had
And
no
these are
offer to
things
anything.
that I'm like, as a man, you should have these things in place, basic bare minimum. Why are you asking me? So are you looking for a sponsor? What are you looking for? You looking for a mama, a sponsor? You looking for a foster home? What are you looking for? I heard a girl joke one time. She said, "I don't even date no more. I just foster them till they find their forever home because it seems like
She
that's
just
what
do
they want."
what?
She just fosters them until they find their forever home.
Define foster.
Like a foster child, like you take them in and take care of them until somebody wants to adopt them.
Your
She was
foster-
making
but-
a joke, but
Yeah, I feel like she's probably sleeping with that
but,
foster.
see, but that's the attitude a lot of this
Women?
new crowd come in with. Like, and I can say it's not just the men. It's astonishing because the men are acting in a feminine energy, but you got a lot of bum women too who come in. They just feel like they're trying to get with somebody that can take care of them. They're not bringing.
And
them.
again, to Kevin Samuel's point, that's what some of the women, they want somebody to take care of them, and forget about all the bad choices they made up until they were 40.
Yeah.
And they think that they think because I got great piano playing skills, how value man is gonna want me because this is what I bring to the table.
But I think what
The
we have
milkshake bringing everybody to the yard.
What's up?
it's
I'm
not
just saying.
necessarily a male or a female issue. I think we just have a people issue in general right now. Meaning that a lot of things have just, with the ushering in of pretty much anything goes kind of spirit.
But again, if you're talking about the absence of morality.
Overall, exactly. That invites the no morality. That invites
it invites
anything
decadence. When
goes.
decadence rules the day, there really are no rules.
That invites, I can be a bum and feel like it's okay to approach
Yeah.
you when I see you working hard to take care of kids, busting your butt, and then I come in with nothing, asking you for a handout. Like, how do you, morally as a person, how do you feel okay doing that?
But
now,
it had to be okay with
they're doing the first conversation, right?
it had to be a whole lot of.
Yeah,
They had
during
to,
the first conversation, like getting to know
Then
you
you
kind
cut
of
'em loose.
conversations. Exactly.
There's only
Rich,
one
look at
reason.
my hands. They naked. I'm single.
There's only
That's
one
why.
reason I have several conversations, because I got an agenda.
so what now?
The only reason I have several conversations is because I have an agenda.
Meaning,
You know what his agenda
no,
is.
I know because I need some.
My goal,
for my remedial problem.
my goal is something else. I don't need anything, so I can have a bunch of conversations. Then when I get to that point, I'm good. This ain't gonna work.
So let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever see yourself? And I know you're at the 60+ age. Do you ever see yourself married again?
Oh no, I won't get married again.
That's
I was
definitely out.
today years old when I found out you had been married.
Yeah, I won't get married again.
You
I'm
won't.
done with
Why
that.
not?
And see, I've never been married.
What's your reason for that? If you don't mind.
My reason for that is you can put in a lot of work and still not get the outcome.
So
that
Reggie,
you
if I
expect.
ask you to marry me today, you gonna say no?
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
I can't do that. I can paint a picture.
What if I had a
I'll
ring?
paint a picture
Look,
for
he
you.
gonna go to church with me and everything.
I do all
Pay
that.
tithes and
Tied it on
everything.
up.
I'll paint a picture for you. But that's something, no, that's not going to work. Because what happens, this is just me now. I still feel a certain way.
About marriage?
No, not
Or
about marriage.
your marriage?
Not even about the man, my other man. No, none of that. I've seen what can happen. If you stop doing what you need to do, then we're going to have problems. I'm not going to get into that again.
Okay.
And that's just me. Let's keep it 100. We grown folks.
Well, absolutely.
I'm a sexual kind of guy.
Okay.
You cut the sex off, I'm done, man. Seriously. I'm a sexual kind of dude. I get all the lingo. I get all the
You can be
stuff.
honest about that.
I
It's
get
so
all
refreshing. Because these dudes be out here covering up
I get
and
all
lying
that.
and hiding.
Hey, my God,
and
Bernard,
tell you it's
Bernard.
about one
Hey,
thing and then it's
yeah.
not. They just
Check us
really
out.
just
Hey, what's
want-
up with the Southern Awakening? We got
Yeah,
you,
but
bro.
like I said, on this program, what Reggie and I are going to do, we're going to go back and review the comments and pick out which one we thought was the best, and then we get in touch with the people that thought, and we had 3, but
thanks.
Carlita was an automatic winner with her comment about Reggie trying to finesse Jesus. So she automatically won one, but we got 2. We still have 2 more to decide who's going to get this book. And Bernard, I got about 5 books. I'm gonna need you to autograph them. Probably get with you one day this week to get them so I can autograph them and get them to the people that have won them. But again, shout out to my man Bernard, the Southern Awakening, a black man's guide to liberating the South. Great book, great read, easy read. But like I said, I'm still putting in work because we're going to have a Q&A discussion about you in this book. As soon as I get with some more people that have actually read this book, events coming around, and that's going to be good. I mean, and I'll be shouting out for you for that, Bernard.
Great.
So that's going to be a production put on by Hope for Xavier Foundation /
What kind is that?
Xavier's Journey. So, but yeah, we should be fine with that. Good. Thanks for watching, Bernard. But when you talk about, and I guess we're all in agreement that when Kevin Samuel says high value men, that he misplaces what is meant by value, because again, value has nothing to do with price. And we're talking about what something is worth to you, and I think what the clash between him and the women come in is that the women put all their value in what's between their legs.
No.
Or the ones that he's talking to. That's what they said. He says, what makes you think you deserve a high value man? And 90% of those women will say, because I got skills.
But listen,
not
when
because
you
I got
get
morals,
of a
not because I
certain
clean house good, not because I cook. I got skills.
Everybody's flowers bloom at different times. Your fruit ripens at different times, right?
Love you too.
Sausages expire, and flowers wilt and die.
Yeah.
So it's a moot point for a woman to come in thinking that she can keep a man with her skills, because it ain't always gonna work.
Well, what I'm saying is,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you get older, and now some people get older and they get a little frisky and they got medicines and they got whatever. But generally, that's not something that you can bank on, because what if it becomes dysfunctional? What if it don't work no more? Like, what do you have?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what do you? Now, I'm not a what do you bring to the table kind of person as far as what
but
do
it
you
seems like
provide
most
for me.
people are. Now you're an anomaly.
Charmaine says.
Now you're being an anomaly.
Says most women are looking for sponsors. I agree. There are a lot of men.
What is this sponsor thing? Explain to me what is this sponsor thing.
Tell Bernard I said a sexual kind of dude.
Okay, Bernard says, I love you guys and your beautiful guests. Thank you so much.
Why thank you for the compliment, Bernard?
What are you talking about, sexual kind of dude? I'm not.
No, I told him I'm a sexual kind of guy.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can, again, I'm the federal. You take care of the state.
Yeah.
We got you covered.
That's a partnership.
That's
right.
federal,
Yeah, no, that's Social Security. You're talking about fighting.
But
do they even do FICA anymore?
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah, but if you get to the point where you say, well, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing. No.
Reggie said you take care of FICA and Social Security.
Right, we got you covered. We got you covered. You ain't got to worry about all that. We got you covered.
But again.
Yeah.
And guess what? Just like in the real world with the government, if you don't pay them state taxes, they take it out of federal.
That's it.
So,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
So, Reggie, Reggie done disappeared on us.
No, I asked him for a charger. It's my fault. My phone is about to die, and my is not a plug-in, and my thing, I don't have a USB on the end of my phone.
So you can plug it in right there.
Yeah, it's no.
You plug it in right there.
Yeah. Plug it in
So mine didn't have a USB on the end. It's both. Yeah. Thank you so much, Reggie.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all.
So I'm back. Go ahead. What were you ready to say, son?
But yeah, but actually, I think we're getting ready to end.
Okay, sounds good to me. We can do another one.
But it sounds like we will be doing another one.
Y'all gonna have me back again?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we have to find a different subject matter and try to be as entertaining as informative. But it's for me. Again, I'm gonna give a shout out to the same people that I gave to earlier about the kickball tournament coming up. April 24th. It should be April 24th. It's be at Victor Lloyd Park. As we said, shout out to Donald Wright and his lovely wife Z for hosting and putting this thing together. So all the proceeds. It's about autism, and then be on the lookout for a prelude for us going to the Hope for Xavier Foundation, the Black Tie Gala back in full effect. Hopefully it'll be in May or June, sometime in that. But we'll get that soon. But this has been a great show, guys. Reggie, got anybody you want to shout out when we get out of here?
Again, to everybody listening, run your own race. You'll be fine.
All right.
You'll be great. Yes, sir.
Big shout out to my guy, Xavier the Big Dirty. We're going to dedicate this show again. to our fallen friend, used to be our co-worker, Mr. Pablo Gomez, who passed away here about a month ago. Pablo was a good guy that we worked with. Sorry to hear about his passing. We dedicate this show to him. So with that being said, and it looks like Reggie's gone, so it looks like you're going to have to say it's a wrap with me at the end. So like we like to say at the end of every show, it's a wrap.
Is it working? I was going to get you